Hello everyone. This lecture is about the electronegativity and electropositivity in periodic table. It's a very important topic of your chemistry, and why I'm saying it is very important because basically we divide the complete chemistry into three parts. The first part is your physical chemistry. Okay. Second part is your organic chemistry, and the third one is your inorganic chemistry. Okay, so in all these three, this electronegativity and electropositivity concept is very important. Why I'm saying so, because whenever you will solve the numericals of your physical chemistry, like how much energy is released, how much energy is absorbed, so to understand that thing or to solve that problem, you should have the knowledge that which atom is more electronegative, which is more electropositive, and in that way you can decide that how much energy to be released, and you can compare the things. Coming toward the organic chemistry, in the organic chemistry basically we deals with the chemical reactions, in fact. So whenever we have any chemical reaction, then the very basic thing is that we have the replacement of one of the atom by the another atom in any chemical reaction. So the replacement of one atom by the another atom depends upon the electropositivity and the electronegativity property. Okay, so the more electropositive will replace the less electropositive. So from that point of view also, this concept is very important. Okay, and in case of your inorganic chemistry, so whenever you are studying about the properties of any atom, so basically like if you are studying about that what is going to be happen with some trends, so in that case also your electronegativity and electropositivity concept is very important. That's why I have chosen this topic. This is a very important topic, and you can say that this topic is going to work, or if you have the clear concept of this thing, then in physical chemistry also, in organic chemistry also, and in inorganic chemistry also, this is going to help you a lot. Okay, that's why I have chosen this topic for the discussion. So let's start with the topic. So first of all, I'll discuss the electronegativity. I'll start with the definition of electronegativity. What is electronegativity actually? Means what we understand from the electronegativity. Okay, what we understand actually. So the definition is written in front of you, that it is a tendency. First of all, we need to understand each and every word of the definition. It is a tendency actually of any atom to attract. So three things we have noticed, that it's a tendency of what? Tendency of the atom. And what is that tendency? To attract. Okay, and what it is going to attract? It is going to attract the electrons to reach the nearest noble gas electronic configuration. Now the noble gas electronic configuration is what? As you all of you know that in case of your noble gases, so the outermost orbit has complete octet is there. Okay, or complete duet is there. So every atom tries to attain the nearest noble gas configuration, means try to complete the octet. Octet means 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, okay, by absorbing the electrons. So this is the property, or you can say that electronegativity is a property by virtue of which, okay, it is basically a property of or you can say the inherent property of any atom, okay, by virtue of which it will attract the electrons, okay, whenever there is a chemical reactions or something else is there, so it will attract the electrons to complete the octet. In most of the cases it try to complete the octet, means 8 electrons. Let me write down so that you have a clear idea. 8 electrons in outermost orbit. Okay, 8 electrons in outermost orbit. This is the case. Okay, so I think this definition is pretty clear to everyone. Okay, now we'll try to understand that what are the factors that affect the electronegativity, or what are the factors on which this thing depends upon actually. Okay, because every property is there in every atom, but we need to understand that what are the factors that govern or that causes that property to occur or that property to be attained by any particular atom. Okay, so we'll try to understand that thing. So now in this case, the atom that gains electrons, try to understand, the atom that gains electron turns into negative ion. Very you can say very common thing is that we understand, and also we have learned this thing in our basic mathematics also, that if we are taking a borrow, so a kind of borrow word we use in the mathematics, same thing is here, but in terms of a negative ion, negative sign is there. Means for example, you might have seen Cl minus. So this minus shows what? This minus shows the ionic part, that it has taken one electron. Okay, so in the electronegativity, or if any atom has the electronegativity, then by virtue of which it will attract the electrons and it will have a negative charge, we say negative charge on it. Okay, and this number of charge depends upon the number of electrons absorbed by it. Okay, so in this case, see here, we have this arrow is being mentioned here. So actually this is an example of NaCl. In this NaCl, chlorine is taking one electron from the sodium. Okay, so sodium will attend a positive of plus and chlorine will attend a minus. So please mind that electronegativity comes into existence whenever any atom takes part in the chemical reaction. If it is not taking part in chemical reaction, then it is neutral, means it will make a molecule, it will don't have any ions. So electronegativity comes into existence whenever you have the chemical reactions. Okay, so it is very we have to make all this concept very concrete and very discrete. Okay, now electronegative is the ability of an atom to attract electrons from the outside. This thing I have already told to you. One word that we generally encounter is the electron affinity. Affinity sometimes is you can say misunderstood with the electronegativity, but try to understand, electron affinity is concerned with the release of the energy. Okay, electronegativity is the property by virtue of which electron is attracted, and if electron will be attracted, then electron affinity will come into role and energy will be released. So more the electron and electron affinity means more release of the energy, in fact. Okay, it means that roughly you can understand this thing, if an atom is more electronegative, then its electron affinity will be more. It means that more energy will be released whenever it will absorb any electron. Okay, so this is the very basic of your electronegativity basically. So definitions I have discussed, and I have discussed that what actually is that, and electron affinity I have discussed. Now if you remember, then in the starting of the lecture I told you that we need to understand on what are the factors on which this electronegativity depends actually. See, I tell you very simple thing is that whenever we take any atom, so actually we have a nucleus force. Okay, the force being applied on the each and every electrons from the nucleus. So this is known as the nucleus force. So if the nucleus force is higher, or if the magnitude of the nucleus force is higher, then in that case, okay, the electronegativity will be different, and if it is lower, then it will be a different. We'll see. Okay, now see here, in this case, decrease in atomic radius across the period means, now whenever there is a decrease in the atomic radius means, now try to understand, this is your nucleus. Okay, this is your nucleus and this is your atom. Let's take any example. This is one of the atom A, and another you have this thing, and this is the another atom. I am taking this atom as an example as a B. Now in this case, try to understand, the distance of the outermost orbit in case of B is more than that the distance in case of atom A. So what is going to happen actually? The force on the outermost orbit of the electrons due to the nucleus will be higher, or you can say the ability of the electron to attract the ability of the nucleus to attract the electron is higher. in case of A in comparison to B. Okay, it means that this atom A will have more electronegativity. So smaller the atom, larger the electronegativity. And why this is so? Because of the larger nucleus force, or you can say the attractive force that is being applied by the nucleus to take the electrons from the another atom. That's why it is mentioned here, decrease in the atomic radius across the periodic table. Okay, then there is an increase in the electronegativity. And this is just opposite whenever the size of the atom will increase, that I have just discussed with you. I have taken an example of another atom B. So as the size will increase, okay, then electronegativity will decrease. Okay, let's see this one. Electronegativity decreases as the size of the atom increases. Now as you can see, the same example I have taken in the previous, so it has been drawn in a very proper way here. Now see, in this case, the force applied by the nucleus on this outermost orbit is a bit lesser, okay, in comparison to this one. So in this case, the electronegativity will decrease. Or if you compare, if you compare this atom A, and if you compare the atom B, okay, so the electronegativity, let me write down the electronegativity of A, okay, will be, okay, more as compared to B. Why? Because of larger size of B. Okay, why? Because of larger size of B. Okay, so in nutshell, you can understand the game is about the size, and more precisely, the nucleus is playing a very vital game here, very vital role playing here, because just because of nucleus and the nucleus force, it all depends upon that if the atom has the larger size, nuclear force will be lesser, so the electronegativity will decrease. Obviously, see, in a common life example, I tell you, for example, if you are sitting at your place and you are trying to pull something, okay, so when you are pulling something, so at the point of contact your force will be more, and as you gradually go from one point to another point, the force will decrease gradually. Similarly, thing is that you can understand that you are sitting here at the nucleus, and you are having a rope, okay, you are having a rope and you are trying to pull something. So in the same case, if you are sitting here, so in this case, okay, in this case the pulling force that you apply will be greater in comparison to this one. Okay, so you can correlate this thing, and that will be much better for you to understand this thing. Now this is Pauling electronegativity with the help of periodic table I have tried to explain. So as you go from left to right in the periodic table, the size of the atom is going to increase. See here, and if size will increase, then electronegativity will decrease. Similarly, you see here, when you go from top to bottom in the periodic table, there will be an increase in the size of the atom and there will be a decrease in the electronegativity. So if I say that, if for example, if someone asks to you in the examination, because in the examination sometimes questions being asked that this is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So if you have the question that arrange all these things in terms of electronegative, so fluorine will have the highest electronegativity, after that the chlorine, lesser will be the bromine, and the least will be the iodine in case of your fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Okay, this is a very common thing, and sometimes question is being asked, very normal question is being asked as a multiple choice questions also. So that's why I told you, if you have the concept of electronegativity and electropositivity, then it will help you in the physical chemistry also, in the organic chemistry also, and in the inorganic chemistry also. Now coming towards the next part of my presentation, that is your electropositivity. So just opposite of electronegativity is the electropositivity. In this case, the atom will have the ability, or it is a property of the atom by virtue of which it is able to donate the electrons, means it is able to release the electron from its outermost orbit. Okay, this is the electropositivity, just opposite of electronegativity. In electronegativity, it was the property of attracting the electron, and in electron positivity, it is the property to release the electron, to donate the electron. Okay, I think this is now pretty clear. And obviously, electronegative will cause the negative ion, and here it will cause the positive ion on this one. So in this case, if I say, then Na will have the plus sign and Cl will have the minus sign, and this minus sign and plus sign depends upon the number of electrons taken or number of electrons released respectively. Now, as we have seen that electron affinity in case of your electronegativity, in case of electropositivity, we have the ionization energy. Now you may have a question ki why the term is different. Yes, the term is different because here we are creating the ions. Means if I say that you are having a sodium ion, means it is an ion. So here in the case of ionization energy, in this case the ionization energy is defined as the amount of energy that you need to provide to the atom. Okay, the amount of the energy you require to provide to the atom so that it releases the loosely bound electrons easily. Okay, so electron affinity is about the release of the energy, and ionization energy is about the absorption of the energy to release the electron. Just opposite, they are just opposite each other. Okay, so in this case, whenever I take, then when I compare this thing in the periodic table, now you can see that electropositivity decreases as you go from left to right here. Now again you may have a question why. The answer is very simple, that again when you go from left to right, as I told you that this if the size is decreasing, the ability of the nucleus to bond the electron will be very high. That's why in that case nucleus will not release the electron very easily. Okay, so that's why when you go from left to right in the periodic table, the size decreases and hence your electropositivity decreases. But in contrast to that, if you go from top to bottom, then electropositivity decreases. It means that your potassium is more electropositive than sodium. Now try to understand why I have told this thing, that it is also very important from organic chemistry point of view. For example, you are having NaCl, okay, and you are having and you are having KOH. Let's say that, let's take an example. So in this reaction, if you want to know that which is going to replace which one, so you already know that potassium is more electropositive than the sodium, so potassium will replace here. Okay, are you getting my point? This is the case. So this is the potassium is going to replace the thing, sodium in the NaCl. This is the property that we need to understand. That's why I told you in the starting of my presentation and the lecture that this electronegativity and electropositivity is going to play a very vital role in organic chemistry and physical chemistry and in inorganic chemistry. Okay, so now I think this is pretty much clear to you that what is electronegativity or electropositivity, and at last I have made this thing in a compiled manner so that after seeing this one you will have an idea of the complete lecture, that what I have discussed so far. So electropositivity decreases when you go from left to right, but electronegativity increases. As I told you that they both are just opposite property. So if one will increase, obviously other will decrease. Okay, and whenever you go from top to bottom, then electropositivity will increase but electronegativity will decrease. Okay, so this is a very common topic. People sometimes understand this thing, but during the conceptual point of view, sometimes they miss the small things. That's why I have discussed this thing, and actually this is very important topic. Basically it seems to be very simple, but as I told you that it's a very important from all the three parts of the chemistry. Okay, so this was all about the lecture about the electronegativity and electropositivity trends in the periodic table. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video.